don't know, it's a small venue. You can see we have all kinds of events related to Southeast Asia. Currently there is an exhibition about southern Thailand in the first floor, and this is about glass painting in Southeast Asia. Today I will have a double role because I am also going to talk about my own collection of glass painting in Indonesia, Indonesian glass painting, which I collected with my late husband. But so I will play moderator and speaker at the same time. But we are very privileged and lucky because tomorrow there is going to be 2 panels actually on glass painting at the CIMEOS PAFA conference. And this allowed for the opportunity to have the best experts so far on glass painting in Southeast Asia collected here in Bangkok. So this is really a lucky coincidence. And so we will start with Jerome, who is actually an expert on glass painting in Indonesia. But today he will talk more about generally glass painting and how they came from Europe, what was the way to arrive to Southeast Asia. Then we will have Catherine, who will talk more about the Langa, Thailand, and the links with Myanmar. Then we will have a speaker from Myanmar, from Mandalay, talking about glass painting from Myanmar, Vietnam, and I will close with the glass painting from Indonesia. We have also short video, about 3 minutes, about the making of glass painting in Bali. So hopefully we should be very interesting, I think. So thank you for coming, and without further ado, please, Jerome.
Thank you, Leah, for having invited me to say a few words. Actually, I don't know exactly what I should say about the from a more general point of view regarding glass painting in Southeast Asia, because my main focus is on glass painting in Indonesia, and we don't know that much about the coming of glass painting from Europe or maybe China to Southeast Asia. What's sure is first, there must have been several ways from the main point where glass was used as material since the Roman era and maybe before, until the late Middle Ages, that is in the northern part of Italy, and from there it spread to other parts of Europe. I mean, the glass as medium for coal painting as it is for glass painting, not with stained glass, which is different process. It's completely different. So we have to differentiate it. And most probably from Italy, maybe beginning in the 16th or 17th century, it spread to the Ottoman Empire, probably. But we are sure, beside this, that from Italy through and with the help of the Jesuits, it came and it arrived in China. It was in the 18th century, beginning of the 18th century, maybe a little bit earlier. And it was moved by two Jesuits who are known for having played a major role in bringing that technique to China. First is Attiret, the French Jesuit, and the other one is Castiglione, which is an Italian Jesuit. And as for Southeast Asia, it's a little bit more difficult because it has never been until the late 20th century a united area, and the way must have been very different from another region to another region. As for Vietnam, I guess it came from China directly. For Indonesia, it may have been introduced by Chinese painter, but as for the material itself, the glass was put by the Dutch. This is for the 18th and the 17th and 18th century. We are quite sure that most of the glass used not necessarily for painting, but for the glass, for this also for anything else, was brought by the Dutch. The Chinese played an important role in influencing or spreading glass painting from China to India. And with the help of Dutch maybe, once again for the material. But we know that in the Marat regions, there were, in the second part of the 18th century, Chinese painters were active in that area, in that places, and the Indian painters did learn from Chinese painters in this western part of the subcontinent. For the other region, it's much more difficult to have any precise idea, at least for me. Maybe all other participants have ideas of through which way the glass painting and the taste for the glass painting was introduced to Cambodia, to Thailand, and to Burma. I have no precise idea. What I know is first, it may have happened lately, maybe in the second part of the 19th century or during the 20th century. And we know that in the same time, maybe in the 1910s or 1920s, glass appeared to be more and more appealing to the public, at least in Indonesia, in Java, because Indonesia is mainly in Java, and in Burma too. We have testimonies on that time. It was maybe the same in Cambodia and Thailand, I have no idea. The fact that the sheets of glass became more available and cheaper too from the latest part of the 19th century actually played a role too. Because when we're speaking about glass painting, we always have to keep in mind the fact that glass is not a material easy to get, easy to buy. It was, and for a very long time, it was rare, very expensive, and I'm sure it was the same in different parts of Southeast Asia, as I saw in Indonesia. Until the 80s, you still had a lot of houses, even in the cities, with no windows and no glass at all. So it was an expensive material, and which had to be imported mainly from Europe, but from China too, and from Japan. And it is possible that the cheap price of Japan after the economic crisis of 1929 made, so during the 30s, made the material, that glass, more accessible to the local public of different countries in Southeast Asia.
What is a reverse glass painting? What is exactly?
Oh, what is reverse glass painting? You mean taking
You show the movie first, and you show the video.
Okay. Well, technically speaking, yeah. May I take
This is mine.
You have two main ways to paint on glass. You can use the technique of cold painting. This is the case for glass painting, and the painter do paint on the reverse part of the glass. And the other way is the other technique is the technique used for stained glass. So I won't speak about stained glass. Just cold painting on glass. The painter painted on the back. So everything has to be painted in the reversed way. What you paint on the left will be seen on the right. You understand? And you have to begin with the detail, and you finish with the back of the painting. So if you see in the painting a signature of the painter, you should bear in mind that probably began with the signature. Yes, which has to be seen, yes. Which has to be reversed too. Instead of finishing with the signature when you paint on canvas. So it's very special. And it's very difficult to make any correction if something is wrong. So usually, at least in Indonesia, the people do paint the contour of the figure and then they fill it with the colors. This one is from the region of Cirebon, I think. Yes, Cirebon, which is on the northern Cirebon, yes, on the northern coast of Java. It's part of the province of West Java, and most probably it has been painted in the late 90s or maybe in the 10s or in the 2000s. I don't know. It's a recent one. So you can see few techniques which are specific to that area, especially what you see about the use of the colors, from the dark colors to the from the dark red to the white, which is now only found in this region. As for the subject, the topic itself of the painting, it's a Japanese god, maybe the most important of all Japanese gods. Sumar, yes, the name is Sumar, and you will find it everywhere in Java, and there is a kind of Sumar which name is different in Bali too. So it's very, very, very common. And it's a fine example of the taste in Cirebon and more generally speaking in Indonesia since the late 90s. As for this one, which is much more simple, maybe, it was made in Madura, and it's a kind of bidadari, a kind of angel, and it's very, very funny to see that picture, because now you hardly see any girl in Madura with their legs like this one. This comes from Madura too, I think. Although also, but anyway, it's northern coast of East Java. It's very much influenced by Bengalese culture. And this is Japanese, just maybe found everywhere in Java. So you can see, for instance, here the painter began with by drawing the black color, making the contour here, and then he filled up this part, and he finished by the back. And in some part of the painting, maybe he used cheap pigments, and this can explain the state of the painting now. Voilà. But it's very nice, with a burak in the center. And this, I'm sure, has been painted in the 50s, maybe the 60s, and both colors here, white and red, remain to the Indonesian flag, of course.
We will go back later on to Indonesian paintings, and for sure Jerome will also add to the presentation. But now we move first to mainland Southeast Asia. So Catherine, please.
I became interested in reverse glass painting in 2014 when I became interested in reverse glass painting in 2014 when I had to take care of part of what is Burma art collection at Northern Illinois University. And among them, I was doing a catalog. I'm still doing a catalog which of course if each chapter of my catalog is taking as much as it has been taking for reverse glass painting, I don't know, in my next life I may finish. I was intrigued by a few reverse glass painting in our collection. And I looked for literature and didn't find it, and this is why I came now in 2019 to explore not only the origin of reverse glass painting in Burma, but also in mainland Southeast Asia, which I was fortunate. Jerome was my guide because he had done so much for the last 20 years on publishing reverse glass painting in Indonesia. So I'm really grateful for Jerome because we had nothing in mainland Southeast Asia. Today, my talk is only on Lanna, on Thailand. I thought because the audience will be probably more Thai, I thought I will focus for the 10 minutes on what I found and summarize today on Thailand. I see four different influence. You can see in Thailand, I will not talk about the historical aspect of it because I'm talking about it tomorrow at the conference. So I don't want for those of you who are going to the panel tomorrow to just unveil what I'm saying tomorrow. But for all of you, I can see four different influence. Just for your knowledge, the first information we probably got from the Dutch sources was under Pranarai. So we are talking about 17th century, where to regain the favor of the king, the Dutch merchants, traders decided to offer 164 reverse glass painting from the Netherlands. He didn't order from Batavia or from Indonesia, which was their really empire. They really just went all along to try to get back this trade due to some disagreement in the past. So the first one we probably have, the most ancient one in the country, came under, so you see in the map Thailand, and you see it's between India and China. That's not new, but the first influence is probably, and the most ancient one, are probably coming from the Chinese, who in Guangzhou, you see here Guangzhou, here, or you know Hong Kong and Canton were the only place in China where the foreigners were allowed to trade. So that's the two main parts. What Jerome was speaking about at the beginning when the missionary arrived, it was in Beijing at the Imperial Court. You have to imagine it was so expensive. It was really something as a dream, as mentioned in also British sources, to possess some glass or something on glass. It was really valuable. So the first one was the influence of Chinese reverse glass painting. It was made solely for export, and as one of our scholars mentioned in the Netherlands, it's called foreign painting, which says a lot. That was really done for the foreigners living in Canton or Guangzhou or later on in Hong Kong or Macau. So usually they were very, very interested in having the harbor, meaning the factories where they were trading. So that was one of the subject matter portraits, such as these beautiful ladies. Usually you found them on courtesans surrounding, and portraits of important people. They were also orders for that, like the Captain Joseph Uda, but we know we have Washington and so on, and it continued later on. And we had also portraits of Europeans. So this is probably the oldest type you find in Bangkok. And they are in Siam, so 19th century is sponsored by Rama III, who was really very keen in the Sino-Thai trade. And you can see the proof in a royal temple sponsored and built up by Rama III. So these royal temples, such as Bako here, you can see on the pillars three different, it was always, yeah, you probably have seen, right? So in a few of the temples, you have Batarun, the Ubosot and Batarun, you have at least 10 of them. That has been published by Jessica Patterson, who is an expert of Chinese influence in Thai art, and especially Bangkok. So I will not go into details, but to show the themes which were familiar to those who saw reverse glass painting in the 19th century. They were probably influenced from the Indian, but same thing, they were portraitures, they were Hindu gods, so that's the first element of seeing some kind of holy elements in it, and of course, courtesan. This is a book published by Anna Dalla Piccola last year, and or 2 years ago, at the end of 2 years ago, and so that has been very helpful for me to just see the common denominator with Southeast Asia. Then we just go more into the details. So the second part we can see is the Burmese influence of reverse glass painting. So the Burmese influence of reverse glass painting in Thailand can be seen especially in Lanna and in Mae Son particularly, with a beautiful and probably the most important repository in the world of Burmese reverse glass painting in Mae Son due to the tea trade pushed by the British under after the first Anglo-Burmese War in 1825. The treaty was signed, but we know the British delegation met the king, who was really very much interested in the technology. But this temple is from 1870 and is at the knot of this teak trade in Mae Son, where there were a lot of teak, and it was sent to through the Salween River or Tanween River in the 19th century. So that was a route. Then after, so you see here the various trade routes going through Mae Son, which is at the hub here. So you see the multiple trade routes. And you can see this beautiful reverse glass painting, as I showed it here, bear, sorry, just go back, bear all kind of elements from the end of the 19th century. So you see here the Chinese emissary, you see it's a very kind of naive representation with the life of Buddha and the previous life of Buddha, such as the Jataka stories, which were ornated these four walls, I didn't show here, four walls of the room of the most important abbot in this monastery. The second Burmese influence we can see during the tea trade was also the beginning of the interest in reverse glass painting, and that's why it was quite interesting, of the pilgrimage sites. And these old reverse glass painting from early 20th century, we know that because you can see the tigress here. Oops, sorry, it's really too sensitive to touch. Can you see here the tigress? That's a very important event which really popularized what happened. The abbot was afraid, the tigress was there protecting a small but nobody wanted to come to the Chouet-Lagon. So for a pilgrimage site, it was important. So we know this event took place in 1903, continued to be very popular in reverse glass painting. Another one is an important pilgrimage site, which is at Chaitio, the Golden Rock, in the southern Burma, in one state. So pilgrimage became Life of Buddha, Holy Site, pilgrimage sites became an important subject matters in reverse glass painting. The third influence you find in Thailand is the Landa tradition. Well, we know they were since Mangrai in the 15th century. You are familiar with this very naive depiction, but they are very precise in a way of depicting the main stupa and shrining relics since the 15th century. And they have been documented by inscription, by chronicles, and so on. So we know the importance of this site. But it's only in the late 19th, early 20th century that it became a subject matter on reverse glass painting with Puba Sivichai, which of course launched this topic matter with the tiger. It was his birthday, the year he was born, and so the common tradition in Landa is a 12-year cycles, and so these animals belonging to the year you are born according to the 12-year cycle became a subject matter associated with one of the Zevi or Chedi or Stupa enshrining relics, and in each of these paintings you have the true representation of the Jedi, which really delineate a sacred space within encompassing India, where Buddhism came from, and encompassing Laos with Nakhon Phanom. And this is quite interesting because it's giving you a sense of the sacred geography of that time, and including also as the lowest part, Chouet-Lagon you see here. So Chouet-Lagon was very important, as well as Chulamani and Bodh Gaya, of course, where the Buddha, I think I have a representation, and the main site in the northern Thailand. I just give you some aspect of the various type of reverse glass painting you find in northern Thailand. This is probably done by one of these Chinese reverse glass painting artists from the diaspora, late 19th, early 20th century. I would say probably early 20th century, probably 1920 or something like that, more and more. I'm coming to this date. It's in Van Ket Museum in Chiang Mai, and it's quite interesting because it depicts not only those born in the year of the tiger, but that's in from the site associated with the tiger, which is in Play. I went there, and it's a big pilgrimage, but there is no more reverse glass painting. But they sell little tiger on the top of the mountain where the Chedi is. It's a very, very important pilgrimage site in Landa. And associated with the day the person was born, as well as the Chedi behind. So each of them are following the same model, sometimes very naive, and you can see here two different types. I have even more recent one, and the most recent one is 1980s. Then the production stopped maybe 15 years ago, more or less. But you can see the continuing type of mass-produced reverse glass painting for the pilgrims to buy and take it with them, and after they visited the place for every 12 years. So another one important for me, because that was, of course, Vat let me pass the 10 minutes. Okay, so I just show you different type. And this is the nun, the one associated with the rabbit. It's interesting because the late king, Mumindol, visited the site because he was born that year. So you can see also the importance of the site until now, done in a very complex or more simple way. This is more recent in the 1970s, 1980s. And I will stop here with the rat because I just found that very funny. It's in the Chiang Mai area. Now you cannot find reverse glass painting, but you can find a lot of little sculpture of the rat and people paying homage to the rat. The last is the one I really didn't pay too much attention about it. It's the one probably in central Burma. This is the white elephant, of course, which became a very important subject matter also since probably the 19th century.
I didn't stop there because it's too interesting to listen. But now we go to Myanmar, please. Yes.
Good evening, everybody here. Thank you very much for your coming. So, may I sit here? Today, I would like to introduce Myanmar reverse glass painting in general. Actually, it is just to search the surviving reverse glass paintings and artists in Myanmar. So I emphasize on the surviving reverse glass painting and artists in Myanmar. Within 10 minutes, I would like to cover all these, but as much as I can. So the first question is that when did the reverse glass painting start off in Myanmar? So according to some test sources, I found that as mentioned by Dr. Catherine Raymond, the very first trace of the reverse existence of the reverse glass painting is in Thailand in 1686. The kings of Sam, King Narai, got some present got reverse glass paint 162 reverse glass painting from the Dutch East Indian Company, and that means since 1686 in the neighboring countries of neighboring kingdoms of Sam, we have already been the reverse glass painting. And then another sources indirect evidence is that in 1767 a woman scholar mentioned that after taking India by the Burmese king, the kings took back royal families and other descent, and all the present given by the Netherlands East Indian Company. So these two facts are the indirect evidence. But we have also direct evidence of the origins of reverse glass painting in Myanmar. In 1795, they mentioned, according to a British account, it's mentioned that King Borovia, there is a semi-artist in the council of Ava, which the King Borovia presented to the British Envoy. And another direct evidence is that on 15th October 1855, in Mindon, the founders of the Manly Rai Palace bestowed the then affair of the head of the envoy with a glass painting. That is the second sources that we have found in the Myanmar Chronicle. And another evidence is that in the later parts of the 19th century, that we have found, as mentioned by Dr. Catherine Raymond, at West Auckland, we have at least 186 robust glass painting that made in Mandalay. So, in the late 1980s, it developed first in the riot cycle and then spread to the public, in the general public. After the annexations of annexations of Burma by the British, that situation coincided with the European nation, with that of the European nations, where the techniques revived again. And then it became popular in the mid-19th centuries, and it became popular also in the in the centers and also peripheral region. And as I mentioned, it spread to the many towns after the annexations of Burma by the British, but during the interwar period, according to the Sri Kaita, who is the only one person who wrote a short article on the robust glass painting in Myanmar literatures. So according to him, during the interwar period, it became fit and its market deteriorated. But as we have found a number of glass painting in 1970s, it revived again. Our intention is to be from the survivor to the reviver. So surviving without the reviving is not acceptable. So we would like to revive the robust glass paintings not only in Myanmar but also in South Asia. So. And in 1985, saw the advancements of photography, and there appear new methods of making robust glass painting. That is the wet collodion painting technique. It is specially studied by Carmen, one of our colleagues here. Yes, that is I imported before I came here. That is from the Manly Mahamyamuni Pagoda. It's made by the wet collodion method. As Carmen can explain very deeply about this. So that is actually not the handwriting, full handwriting technique. And later, but what we have to notice is that these appearing use method themselves can make beginnings of the traditional hand drawing methods. These are some reasons for the development of robust glass painting. The most important reason is the spread, as I mentioned, the spread of artists across the country. And another thing is that, as I already mentioned, the appearance of the new techniques. These are some reasons for the extension. Here, the main one is the low earnings of the profits and taking much time to complete an artwork. Nowadays, you can find only some, even in Mandalay, which is the base of the Kasra thing. Even in Mandalay, you can find only one place where you can find the robust glass painting. I bought that glass painting from Mandalay, Mahamyamuni Pagoda, but you can find many sellers of the robust class painting. So, and one more important thing is that you can find also very few artists who continue their work in drawing robust class painting. These are where you can find the ancient or robust class painting, where you can find robust class painting. Here I also mentioned the places by the region. Here you can find 14 places where you can find the. Here I mentioned only the robust class paintings of the 20th century, not the modern painting. And also in Mumbai you can find the paintings in 3 places, and also here you can see. Now, Illinois University, Dr. Catherine have collected a number of some, I think 115 or so robust class paintings. It's out of Burma. Here I have mentioned some. I took these photograph from Dr. Catherine's PowerPoint that she presented in our country in 2017. So, this one is what I said, the very first robust class painting, but it is just a reproduction by Singer Bates and Wenger Strassman. This is of the 1795 painting, but the original ones has already lost. These are also 19th century robust class painting as mentioned by Dr. Catherine from the Mae Hong Song, Wat Chong Club. And these are 20th century robust class painting. Here you can find a rectangle. Formerly you will notice the almost square painting, and then in the 20th century, it changed to the rectangular shape of glass sheets, and so that the painter can draw vertically and also horizontally. And these are also 20th century paintings. And here you can notice one and the only portrait of the Banaribe monk, Monin Sayado. You can find only in Myanmar only this one of this portrait, only this portrait. And also what you can see is from the square to the rectangular and then to the circular here. It's situated at the Chinese temple, 27th Street Outdoor Chinese temple, where you can find a very circular shaped glass painting on the roof of the how can I say the ceilings of the temple. Then you can find some 4 or 5 such kinds of robust glass painting. Then in the 20th century, you can also find different styles and different styles of robust glass painting here. And then these are 21st century robust glass painting. Here you can I would like to explain. This one it was drawn by the different technique. The painter said that it's 3D painting because it used 3 layers of Maya, layers of glass. For that back figure, he used one glass, and then for the middle figure, he used another glass, and then from the figure, he used the third glass. So it is the only 3D painting made with the 3D robust glass painting technique. And you can also see the upper parts. That is also another method. I use this method as a covering and spraying, covering and spraying method. As Carmen mentioned, it's a kind of stencil, right? Stencil method. Covering the other, while covering the other parts, he paints. The painter paints on the remaining parts. So this is also the painter used the spray. How can I say spray? So it's totally different from the other traditional methods. And also these paintings are also made by the well-known reverse glass painter who passed away early this year. He's the only one left who used to draw the glass painting only by traditional methods. So and also you can here notice the different kinds of different subject matters. For example, on the top of the slide, you can find that it's a Buddha doctrine came from the Buddha's doctrine. So it's related to the Dhamma, and here is a historical sense, historical subject, and here is the scenery and legendary, and also historical and that's also made by the spray methods. And the top one is drawn by Usain, a very well-known artist in Myanmar. He tried, when we invited him to come to the 2017 Reverse Painting Symposium that held in Mandalay University with the support of Dr. Catherine Raymond. And then as we invite him to come to attend the ceremony, he tried to draw the glass painting, that kind of glass painting. His drawing style is totally different from the previous one, and he used the silver foil for the back of the painting. So as far as I know, here's on the remaining artists that I found. The person in red color was once reverse glass painter, but we haven't found their artwork yet today. But I can show you other artists glass painting. Here I have shown Uchimya now already passed, and it's very, very well known. He visited to Thailand, Bengal, to show his skill. But his other aspects of the work is to make the water painting, and these two guys are from Moyua, Sejito, which is the last, last production places of the reverse glass painting. Now also, Ubuji passed away. I have to inform you that. Dr. Catherine's and Carmen's, we visited there again and again, and his younger brother, another one, Ukushan, still live. But the painting I mentioned now is Ukushan's workmanship. Okay, these I have already explained the themes of the reverse glass painting in brief. So these are all the themes that I found as so far. These are what I have already mentioned. As far as I know, I have found some at least five techniques that used in Myanmar. Sorry, I can explain in detail. So what we should do is, as I mentioned it, here I would like to emphasize that we should set up an associations of reverse glass painting and artists, not only in Myanmar but also in South Asia, I think. Thank you very much. let me show you. This is the longest reverse glass painting, 9.3 feet side. I measured. Is a glass painting made at the reception countdown of headquarters. Thank you so much.
Thank you. There will be time to talk some more later on, but we move now to Vietnam first. From the Vietnam Museum of Ethnology.
So good evening. My name is Na, and I would like to say thank you first for Dr. Rosalia Sortino for inviting me today to join with you and also to learn a lot from you. Actually, my talk is very different from those of you because I haven't had a chance to do research about glass paintings in Vietnam. The reason why I'm here is that Mr. Ong Mariono, master martial arts from Indonesia, very famous, and Dr. Rosalia, they donated a collection of Indonesian glass painting to my museum, the Vietnam Museum of Technology. We inaugurated galleries of Indonesian glass painting at our museum in 2015. And later on, we also had a chance to go to Indonesia to films about some artisans in Indonesia who now still working on making glass painting. So this is what I share with you now is just a kind of summary of what people have wrote about the glass painting in Vietnam. About the history, they say that the glass painting, the art of glass painting was introduced to the south of Vietnam, mostly in the south of Vietnam, because in the north I haven't seen much of those paintings. So it came here at the beginning of the 20th century, mostly by the Chinese migrant. So when the Chinese came to the south of Vietnam, they become one ethnic group in Vietnam, and in Vietnam they are called Hoa people. So the first place is at the Chợ Lớn in Saigon. And then around the 1920s in Bình Dương province in Lai Thieu, and then from the 1940 to 1950 it was spread to the 6 provinces in the south. There are 3 famous places of glass painting in the south of Vietnam. They are Chợ Lớn in Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, Lai Thieu in Bình Dương province, and Chợ Mới in An Giang province. So about the technique, maybe Jerome has shared with you, and later you will see a very short video about glass painting in Bali. You can see what the artisan really do. So in the past, we use the Chinese ink to draw the outline of the painting, and then for coloring the paint, we use the color powder and to mix with the oil of udon tree. It's a local tree, and later we use lacquer and also industrial paints, etc. And during the development of glass painting in Vietnam, the painting also integrates with the new content, with the habit and with the custom of the ethnic people at the locality. So there are different styles of glass painting in Vietnam, and they form and each style has from its own unique features. So let's talk about Chợ Lớn style. the glass painting in Chợ Lớn has a long history in Vietnam, and mostly they will serve the religious needs of the Hoa, firstly of the Hoa ethnic people, and then of the Minh Hương people, the Chinese married with the Vietnamese, and then with the Việt people. So about its feature, the Chợ Lớn glass painting usually use the red color. They also decorate the painting with the gold leaf, silver leaf, and especially the technique of mirror coat, so that even if the painting with different lights, and for the Hoa people, they are very good at trading, so they always like find a new techniques and update the new technique to upgrade the painting. So the Chợ Lớn style has a very modern style, and it's also, people also say that that's why it depends much on the technique, but the people not pay much attention on the artistic values of the painting. And about the themes of the Chợ Lớn style, there are various themes and the types of expression. There are painting that is used to commemorate the people, like when the people inaugurate a new house, and the guests will come and they can give the painting as a present for the house owner. So they bought the glass painting like about the 8 fairies or the favorable wishman, in order to wish for the house owner of a wealthy life in the future. There's also a painting that are used for worshipping. So the painting about the picture of Buddha or Bodhisattva, or about the Holy Mother, for example. So here are some example of the Chợ Lớn style. Since the 1950, where the American also the American soldier and also American people also stay in the south of Vietnam, the Chợ Lớn style also have the painting of like flower with the European style, so that they can like sell the painting to very diverse customer. About the light hill style, the light hill style have also some like indication of color. For example, some painting have different color. Mainly they use the pink, green, white, yellow, and blue. But for some other painting, they have red or black background. For example, like a chicken painting here is a black background. It shows the style of the light hill glass painting. And about the technique, the people in light hill prefer using the technique of inlay with mother of pearl on the glass painting. So usually they put a layer of wax on the glass, and then they stretch out the wax at the position of the outline, and then they inlay with the mother of pearl on those lines, or also they do the mirror coating on those lines, so that to create a very like different like emotion on the painting. And about the themes of the light hill style, they also focus on the ancestral painting. For example, usually the painting with landscape painting, and then in the center of the painting there are very spacious houses, and also with the bridge, so the painting will express the hope for a very wealthy life, also a peaceful life for the people who receive the painting. And now is the chợ mới style. People also call Bà Vệ style. Is the third like center or famous place of glass painting in the south of Vietnam. So people say that is the Trần Văn Tú was the first person who brought the art of glass painting to Lai Thieu in 1950. The painting for worshipping the themes of the Lai Thieu is the painting for worshipping Buddha, or the paintings that tell the tales of the Buddha, and also tell the piece of Vietnamese drama, also for the painting only for decoration. So why Bà Vệ chợ mới style start to be developed? It's a time that the Lai Thieu style already become famous. So that might, there are some painting that was painted by the chợ mới people, but still here they still put the Lai Thieu here. It's like a fake brand, so that they can sell the painting for it's just the business purpose. And also for the chợ mới style, they also share that the Mr. Trần Văn Ti created the type of paintings that were hung above the room doors. So before the 1950, the painting was hung on the room, on the wall of the house. But in chợ mới style, there are like painting that were hung above the door. So there are some pictures, some example of the chợ mới style. Yeah, like here is a quite thanh châu vấn tail. So people also draw like a piece of the tail, Vietnamese tail, on the glass painting. So they don't consider that the Khmer glass painting Vietnam is a kind of like a big center of glass painting. However, there is also a glass painting drawn by the Khmer people. So it said that the glass painting of the Khmer people starts to be introduced in 1935 to 1936, and mostly the theme was focused on the ancestor painting, and also Don painting, like they paint the characters in the painting usually wear the traditional Khmer costume, and there's also a lot of painting about the Buddha. So there's also a kind of ancestor painting, like they already made the painting of like a grandpa or grandma in a traditional Khmer costume without any face. So when anyone orders to make a glass painting of their grandmother or grandfather, then the artist will draw a face. Yeah. So, and here is the painting of the Khmer people, which very Khmer, very Cambodian. So people say that the glass painting come to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, and then it was spread out to other provinces in Vietnam, in the south. However, painting. So this is a point that we need to do the research about it. So the Khmer glass painting in the south of Vietnam come from the Chinese or come from Cambodia. So, so I think it's the thing that we need to do the research on. But until now, there haven't official research about the glass painting in Vietnam. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is maybe the first time we hear about Vietnamese glass painting. Actually, it's very unknown what is going on, so I am glad to get this presentation, even if from literature. But now I will switch to speaker. This is somewhat different because this is really about a passion for glass painting that I share with my late husband, Mariano. So we just started to collect painting and then later on start to read about and try to understand how they are come out, the history and all the rest. So I am not going through the history that has been taught. This is more about how it came to Southeast Asia. To what has been said by Jérôme, I want to add one possibility, which I think is through the Arab roots. We have not really, and there are not much text and information about this, but still glass painting are also found in Muslim country in the Middle East and Iran, so it's also a possibility to take into account that they came to beside from China, Europe and all the rest. There may be also a different alternative route. We have already discussed some of these paintings, so this here we can see the one from Cambodia, and they may relate to the one in Vietnam, the Khmer painting that we have heard about. Now what about Indonesia? Again, as we said before, we don't know much about, but according to Jérôme Samuel, who is here in the room, only in the mid-90s, but now he has changed or is adapting this theory. So it seems that it's later compared to Myanmar, as we have seen. The first record we have is about a painter from Propang, Surabaya, which participated in the night bazaar in Surabaya in June 1908. This is the first local painter. So there may have been other painters that came from China or other parts, but this seems to be a local one. The first painting found in Indonesia is supposed to be a painting of an Indonesian Chinese girl married to a Danish man, which again may have been painted by Chinese painter around 1884. And later on we know about a painting in Bali, and Bali is quite different from the rest of Indonesia since it's in one village and it's like a generation, and later on we will see the movie, the short video, which actually is the third or fourth generation from this painter that I am talking about, which seems to have been in the 50s to 70s. Very popular on Java around this period, and there is some research by Dutch scholar. And later on we know that there were Japanese painting, and this is interesting because the Japanese painting combine painting with some kind of collage. So there are some kind of newspaper in the back. So it's a mix of technique that we don't see in other paintings. The first exhibition, so the first time that glass painting were seen as art and not just a popular art that wasn't deserved attention, was in 1982. So very recent that there was a first exhibition of glass painting by Bentara Budaya, which is a culture center by the name newspaper in Jakarta, Kompas. Today, glass painting are concentrated in few locations, so it's an interesting question is why in some place we find glass painting and why we don't find it all over Indonesia. It's also really few places actually that have a tradition of glass painting. Now, I will not go through the making of this. I just want to show briefly the regional diversity and then the thematic diversity. Now, this is Bali. So Bali is, of course, a lot of Hindu story and Ramayana story, the main epics, Ramayana, and that you will see also in the Japanese painting is a source of inspiration from many glass paintings. I must say this is part of my collection, so it's a limited view about glass painting. It's not all glass painting in Indonesia, it's really the one that we have collected. This is East Java, and you can see there, my husband was born in Bondowoso, East Java, so we are heavily biased toward East Java, and that is interesting because many people actually always focus on Cirebon and Central Java, and there is quite little attention for East Java. But as you will see, the color are very lively, very strong. According to Central Japanese, this is kind of kampungan. Kampungan is what? It's not... It's like a rural people taste. So the taste is not sophisticated because the color are so good. And a lot is indeed, this is a motif you will see is the Burak. This is supposed to be the horse that brought Muhammad to heaven. And this is in popular Islam. So of course the radical Islam will never come up with a picture like this, with the woman face and the horse that bring Muhammad to heaven. There are also colonial motifs. This is a hero, Zakera, and Maduri's hero. Like we will say, Maduri is a small island near East Java, but the culture of Madura is spread in East Java. So this is a hero being carried out by the Dutch people with the train. He's always put in different positions and always offering because of the colonial power. Now this is now Central Java. This is actually Central Java, but it's more Yogyakarta. But actually, it's on the border between Yogyakarta and Central Java. He's a very famous painter. I didn't bring because I was afraid to break it on the way from my house. But it's about an older painting. They are quite around the 50 or 60 or around that time. This is Central Java also. In Central Java we can see different location. One is Muntilan, interestingly, is the previous one that is near the Borobudur for those who know Indonesia. The other one is Solo, and the third one, which is the special region of Yogyakarta. So Central Java is a lot, you will see these so-called wayang beber. So they have the same form or the same shape as screen wayang, so-called screen wayang. In West Java, this is the painting that you have seen. You can see the same motifs there that you will see also. This is a woman artist, so there are women artists, but men artists are more known as usual than the woman artists, but the women artists are quite beautiful. You can see also the use of calligraphy. This is Macan Ali. Macan is tiger Ali. So it's used calligraphy. So they use calligraphy from, so for sure it's the Islamic tradition. Now, these are two paintings from Sumatra. As Jerome say, mostly it's Java and Bali actually. So I am not sure this is really from Sumatra or only portray Bukit Tinggi location of Sumatra but done by painter that came from other parts of Indonesia. That I am not sure because it's not easy to find this kind of painting, but for sure the scene is about the Minangkabau hours in Bukit Tinggi. Now this is now the team. So we have seen the location. Now we are going to look about what are the main team. I have divided into a number of main categories, but there are many others and could be divided in different ways. This is the Ramayana and Mahabharata. So as I say, this is a very important source of inspiration for many of the painters of glass painting in the past as well as in the future. In the future, meaning currently. This is the Punakawan. Unfortunately, oh yeah, you can see there the first painting on that side. These are the clowns that are used in the middle of the epics. There are many jokes about the Punakawan, and you can see them in different, like the police or walking around, like Dutch, or here again the police. Also is the father and three sons, and the three sons represent different ethnic group of Indonesia. The Dutch with a long nose. Folk tales. So the folk tales, again, you can, this is very famous, the Jakartaro. This one is the story. This is a bidadari again, it's an angel which is in the earth, and they like to swim in this small lake, and then he fell in love and steal the clothes of the bidadari, and she cannot go back. And so she has to stay here while her friends can go back to heaven. And then in the end, it's a long story, but this scene is quite famous in glass painting, you will find. And this is another folk tale. Prince Mursada searching for a talisman, and they use the fish. This is the prince with two of his sons. Now this is more relatively modern. This is the same painter who did this Sulasno. He's a very good painter from Jakarta, and unfortunately he had a stroke, so now he's not really able to paint the same refined as the color. Also the technique of the color is very beautiful, and this is with the animal of the land and with the animal of the sea. So these are two representations of two animals. The other important source of inspiration is Islam. So we have seen the Burak, the Ors, mosque, we have many mosques, and we have calligraphy. And many of these calligraphy, and there is a similarity with Vietnam, they were put up the door to keep the evil out. So a lot of these religions that is to keep, especially in Eastern Java, and it was really the objective to keep all the evil to come inside the house. Now this you see Burak in different versions. So this is, as you can see, this is more from Central Java, this is more from Eastern Java, but they are the same story but different authors. Now Jerome is an expert on this, so it's the representation of Mecca and Medina. So Mecca and Medina, but then of course seen through the eyes of Indonesia, and often they had not been. Now a lot of people go to Mecca and Medina, but at the time, in those old representation, and even now that they may have their own fantasy in the way they represent, but some of the architectural, of course, is the same. So this is Mecca, and this is Medina by Indonesian painter. But these are the more traditional mosques. Yeah, so these are also mosques, but they are traditional, and this, as you can see, the author, which is the same for this, is all the same painter. He always will put some element of modernity in that. So some cars, some airplane, something that is the mosque, but in the modern time. So there is always, you will find a motorbike or something that reflects the modernization process, or a train, like the train also there are. So So it's not only Islam, and of course some of the tradition is the same. This is the story of Ismail, can be Islam or even other Judaic religion. Christian and Hindu, they also have their own. This is Adam and Eve, and here is more the Hinduist. So religion is not only Islamic, it's quite complete. You can find all kind of religion, but it's less dominant. If you compare to the mainland, Southeast Asia, I think religion is very, very dominant. Now in Indonesia is dominant, but you have a very large variety of source of inspiration, of which religion is just one of it. As we say, the historic movement, a lot has to do with the colonial history. This is Diponegoro, one of the hero of the War of Java, and the other is the one from, as I mentioned, from East Java. Yeah? So, but it's still about the colonial history. This is again Diponegoro and the Dutch. Actually, the Dutch is very small, you can see. But the Dutch took him prisoner, but he's still very, very small when he's inside his house. So there is a critique there. And colonial house. This is again from Eastern Java. Now daily life. So again, there are many different topics. It can be just somebody who paints only once in a while. I mean, it's not, or can be somebody who really paints a lot of painting at the same time. Now this again is marriage, but at the same time is couples. But can be used, it seems from Jerome also, that this can be used as a kind of photography for maybe similar to the way that was said about Vietnam. It's just question of painting the face, but this is more a Dutch costume. Now this again, marriage. This is Japanese style marriage. And nature. Again, many birds, flowers, mountains, and social critique. So you will find also this is against polygamy, for instance, and this is the one we are going to see the video from Santoso. Ketut Santoso is already a generation from the same people from Bali that started. This is already 4, maybe 3 or 4 generations later. But as you can see, he has his own social critique about terrorists, tourists in Bali, and it's very lively. And then you will finish this come always. Yeah? Putri China, Putri Champa. Champa is Cambodia and China is China. So is this part of the cultural heritage that comes that is, of course, needed some more research. Now these are just painting that, again, this looks more like Iranian carpet to me, but we have the Middle East, but again, Europe, this is more Europe scenery, but so you can have a variety, yeah? So these are not the main theme, but you can find, and then finally, modern experimentation. So these are glass painting, but you will not recognize according to our idea of glass painting. This one is done with a woman again, it's done with the technique of dots. So she painted a lot of small dots, and in the end looks like a photography. It's very big painting, and this again, some other example of the modern, more artistic kind of glass painting. And finally, the use of glass painting, and I have brought here some of this. You can look. So this is more the old way, the tribe. You can pass it around. So that is kind of old in East Java that you can use also in the cabinet just for decoration, and you can use it also for glasses, but this is more a modern way. These are all tray. So these are all the same like you are looking at, only different types of frames. As you can see, you can also, this is for a marriage, maybe it was given, so congratulations for the marriage, this is what is said here, so maybe it was given as some occasion or used during the celebration. And that you can still find some of this, but not so many. Last look at the painter, as I say, is not only men, there are women. This is the one, you saw the one from Cirebon. This is the painter who did this glass painting and also the other beautiful painting of Prophet Suleiman. And Rustica is the most expensive and most famous painting. He died, but his son is still continuing, and this is the painting of his son, the small Samar there. So this is the son. It's the most famous painting from painter from Cirebon. And finally, this is me and my husband. It's a present from a friend, so you can order glass painting, and the painter will do according. My husband was a martial arts expert, as was said, so this is him and me kind of holding the guide for his movement. So as you can see, you can improvise and have beauty according to the inspiration that may come from the painter or may come from those who commission the painting. So I will end here, and then we can look at the brief video before having a discussion. Thank you. Okay, so I think this was the presentation part, so now maybe you may have question or comment or anything to any curiosity?
How long does it take by average like to make one glass painting? At least the one in Bali. And then the second one is like, is there any restoration work? Like if the glass painting is damaged, could it be restored or it's just broken?
Well, I don't know who wants to answer. I will give first an opportunity to my...
Well, for the first question, it depends completely on the size and the painting and the topic. So, professional painters say for medium-sized painting may take just one day, and for the very smallest and very simple paintings, they can do several in one day. But anyway, the big one like this one must take maybe 1 week or more, because the painter has to wait the painting is a little bit too dry before we can add another color. For the second reason, as far as I know, only antique dealers are aware about restoration. Maybe people working in a museum will get something different. But because for the painter themselves, the glass painting it's an art of reproduction. Once you have a positive or a negative or model, it can be with glass or paper, we can produce hundreds or thousands of paintings. So it's really no use to try to restore a painting, except for the old paintings. And very often we can see by antique dealers old painting, painting painted produced in maybe 50s or 60s, and which have been not broken, but the pigments are in that condition, and they try to restore the color, and it's always regarding the glass itself, once it's broken, for me personally, I think it's a complex, but maybe someone working for the museum would have another point of view.
From the museum point of view, it's extremely difficult to restore because you have one taking after another one after another one. So it's really a big problem. The old Burmese one I can see the gold when it was used, taking now after 100 years. So it's really a big problem. And and this is why dimension now are starting to be very precious. But generally, just continue what Jerome mentioned, it was mass produced, and so it was not with the image of restoring old wine. So it was cheap for pilgrims to buy it, for people to have it as a special sediments. In mainland Southeast Asia, it's mainly religious themes. So that was to hang. I did a fieldwork in Cambodia, and I went to the houses where it was still hang, and when it's broken, it's unauspicious, so people get it up. Another sport is also coffee for monks, which was popular in Cambodia and in Burma. And so now they are still in monastery, but they are under the monastery, wooden monastery. And you can see they have been broken and they are not used anymore. The technique and the ceremonial rituals have been changing.
I think there is a difference there. If you see the old one, they often use painting that was not actually old. So often they use natural or other kind of painting which breaks quite easily, especially in a situation with humidity. So if you see here, it's back to the color, there's the piece is no more, right? It's remained empty. Now, if you try to repair, like she said, it's very difficult. Because first you need to have the same kind of color, the same kind of tonality, and then be sure that the other piece won't fall down. Especially some, when you open, this is all my experience, when you open the back side, it's may ruin the entire painting. So you try to repair, and it's not going to. I know in Italy, because in Sicily, I come from Sicily, we also have glass painting. There are some people that would try to hold, especially for this kind of older painting. Now this one, as you can see, the color are very different, because this is acrylic painting. So probably it's not going to have the same kind of problem as the older one. But the older one, for sure, they will have some. If you see here, you can read the newspaper, which is put in the back of the glass, because the color already has fallen out. So it would not be good to try to paint. Now, regarding the time, now if you are indeed like, something like this can be done very quick, especially if you are new, you know how to do it and what color to put. But if it gets a level of complexity, then it may take more than a day, more than a month. It needs also because of taking away from the color, but also it's not really easy to do it when it's quite complex. So it depends on the complexity of the painting, the intricacy of the motif and how many motifs there are, and the colors. I mean, if it is somebody like Suhasini, you will see the color are much more different from just like this color. There is a lot of tonality. It's not difficult as one flat kind of color. So depends. So these are already artists actually. At this level, I think they have become already artists, and they don't do only the mass production. Mass production means you put one, and then you put one on top, and then one on top, and then one on top. So some will be right, some will be left. This is the way often they do it. But some are just unique. I have one from the 2000 from the earthquake, and this is because he was affected by the earthquake. So imagine was a dragon coming out of the ground. So this is just a unique piece.
retrolighting for the business, or
So,
they?
yes, sometimes. I remember a glass painting which was kept in the railway station of Sherborne, and they put lamps behind, and when you turn on the lamp, of course, it gives a different scene. So it's not very common. And if you want to use the black lamps with your glass painting, you have to not to fill up the wall glass, to leave part of it empty.
Yeah, I think that is particular kind. You cannot put the light, will not. Just a normal perspective, put the light in the back, it's not going to have beautiful, because often it's the layers of colors already is not transparent anymore. If you notice the one you showed, a lot was empty space, and so it's transparent kind of color, but otherwise it's going to be difficult to put the light in the back.
And this is the main difference, one of the main difference between stained glass and cold glass painting. With stained glass, the light can go through, like in churches and other places. With cold glass painting, it doesn't.
Wondering whether, especially in Indonesia, any contemporary artists in Southeast Asia have appropriated this traditional genre or technique. You know, can you think of any examples of, for instance, Harigono has done a lot of appropriation of Rayan or whatever it is. Has anyone done anything like that?
Harigono, no. As far as I know, he has not used, but I know that others, like I showed, the more modern type, I know that they have done that. So like the one I showed, the more modern form, there are artists who have started to use glass painting. And some of them have tried, but it's not as far as I know that, except for the one that have become famous for those, now continue to do, like the woman I showed you, the car, that sell for millions of euros. And it's quite expensive. So that she does that now as her own art, but otherwise, I think you will not see them do it regularly. They will do one or two, but not at the level of Arizona.
Actually, they are now, and since the 70s, the 70s and the 80s and until now, you have two or three, let's say two main different currents for the painting on glass. The first one was presented by these three artists, Rastika and others, Rastika, Snow and others, and they are autodidacts. They learn by themselves, and they paint in a traditional way, but it's not traditional. It's not traditional anymore. And beside this, you have very few people who learn in the academics. And not even know, but one famous glass painter was Ariel Iswadi. He was graduated from ITB in Bandung, and he painted a lot on glass. But he is one of the very few people who learned in the academies and who did paint on glass.
When I did some research in Cambodia, I went to the fine art and they never taught painting on glass. And we found some, the daughter of one of the famous previous glass lecturer, and he was both an artist on wall paintings as well as on glass. So that was the case. So then he was really good. But because we were lucky in the village to have the daughter. but the fine art they never taught the art of reverse glass painting.
I must say Sulasno, he started as glass painting and remained glass painting. He was not, but he did other form of art. He was an actor in the Mayan Moran performer. So he knew the stories, he knew the Ramayana and all the rest, so it was easy for him. But he's not somebody who started with a medium move to another medium. The same with Rastika. So he's glass painting, but they have become famous on their own. Especially in Rastika, you will find very large painting, and in some museum it's very diet. But as they say, the sun is still more or less using the same kind of motif as his father. So, but that move from one medium to another, I think it's a few.
Is there a market for this kind of painting in the world market? Who are the customers of these artists? Because meanwhile there's more collector, but I buy only when I find anyone. I remember one and I was very surprised with the skills of the Shwedagon Pagoda to find Buddha paintings or glass paintings or not paintings.
So usually the devotees are usually taking for their home, and so either Buddhism or the Nat, they are sold also for the Nat festival in Bandung, for example. So one of the artists, Goshan, when we went the first time, I documented the whole production. We didn't quite know where to expect. We just knew he had his address in the paintings, so we knew he was from the village. And Tina and we, when I arrived a year after, we went and discovered it was a full production, and there were a lot of people from the village, which were, so one was doing one color, the other one was doing the face and the face. But it was to prepare for the Tamil festivals. So there are also images of Weza, which are the wizard, and so these are for the devotees of wizards. So it's really very specific to the devotional aspect of it.
Nowadays you can find all these map paintings and Buddha paintings. That's all. So the devotees, nowadays the devotees, most of the devotees, mostly from the village and rural area, used to find this painting.
For Indonesia, I think it's mixed. Some tourists that
Yes, now, since the 80s or the 70s, it's mainly the major big artists, local artists, local people, from different regions that only. So people in the country, in the villages are definitely more interested by glass painting than the region. The bulk of the population is not interested in the it's not fashionable.
Yeah, no, each country has their own market. For example, in Cambodia, if you go to some rural area, so that will just be if you know the villagers, and you can go to their home, you can see this is what they brought from the locality. But now, it used to be you find them at the Russian market in Taipei, but not anymore. I mean, and in 5-10 years, it's just, when we started, we saw quite a lot in Mahamuni. Now, we had to look for, the last time we went there, we go there every year for the last 4 years, and it's very difficult to find. You have to say, where did you have some reverse glass painting, and they would go at the back of their boutique and they will look for. That's why a collection I bought in the Shwedagon, which are now in the University of Mandalay, that was the daughter who had
the market to buy some of these one I showed, which by the way often are stamped, even always handmade, but that is mostly foreign passing by and they like because they are funny. But in other places there are also local collectors who really collect, including Southeast Asian but I saw, for instance, out now recently in the village, the NU is an Islamic mass organization, and they have their symbol on glass painting, and many hours still have it, they wear this, just the symbol of NU. So this is new, I mean, it's more modern kind of. So there is a kind of change. The social example, social critique can be also activists they give the idea and then they keep it for, so it's a varied market. But there are some places where people know you can buy glass painting, and actually in tribes like Cirebon, I think there are a number of galleries that just sell glass painting. So in some places, and Bali also, in some places able to be viable, but most of the time it's not.
It was very popular in the 90s, for example, in Chiang Mai, glass painting from Burma, and then little by little, so you find less and less, and you find only the art dealers in some cases, and usually you have one or two collectors, so they give a call to the collector or they send work, so disappear very, very quickly. I found a very expensive one in Phnom Penh in art dealers. So they were, yeah. Less, yeah. You cannot find it in the Russian market anymore, but you can find it in the art dealer, or sometimes if you know. I was working with a colleague from the Museum of Phnom Penh, and so he knew exactly where to go and check, and so that took a lot of problems.
Okay, no more? Yes, no more questions.
What is the alternative form of painting that represents glass painting? Because in the Western world, we have oil painting, and in China we have the ink, watercolor painting. So in Indonesia and all these countries, what is the alternative form of painting? Alternative, like another painting.
I think, yeah, they have everything. I mean, Indonesia, all this country, they have oil, they have aquarelle, they have ink, they have everything. But one tradition is this reverse, but it's not the main tradition. So it's something that you really have to look to find it. I mean, it's not something that you will find just the first time you go. Maybe lucky and come across some, but I mean, in general, it's not the same as oil painting or aquarelle painting or other paintings. But
Yes, in Java, for instance, mainly in Java, because when we are speaking about Indonesia for glass painting, it's 90% is Java, Central and Eastern Java. The glass was just an additional medium. It's like wood, leather, paper, canvas, not that much. So leather, paper, wood,
us to